I need help on the high part. Should we? Could we?
Raven hair, ruby lips, sparks fly from her fingertips. Echo voices in the night. She's a restless woman on a firefly. Ooh, it's a woman, see how high she flies. Ooh, it's a woman, she got the moon in her eyes.
I hurt my throat on that first line.
She held me spellbound in the night, dancing shadows on a firefly. Crazy laughter in another room. She drove herself to madness with a silver spoon. Ooh, it's a woman, see how high she flies. Ooh, it's a woman, she got the moon in her eyes.
Y'all are looking at me funny. Okay, let's get her done. Let's get the vibration up.
I know you want to love her, but let me tell you, brother, she been sleeping in the devil's bed. There's a rumor going round, someone's underground. She can rock you in the night until your skin turns red. Witchy woman, see how high she flies. Ooh, witchy woman, she got the moon in her eyes. Welcome to the Valley Spiritual Center.
Yeah, it took me a while to get into that one.
It didn't take your backup gals, Larry.
No, we were ready.
I love that part. I love that part. And when I listen back, that's my favorite part. It's with much pleasure that I introduced, are we past tense? Introduce one of my best friends. comrade, confidant, mentor, and certainly a huge part of the Valley Spiritual Center, Laura Berglund.
Okay.
Well, as many Halloweens, I guess I better have the.
I know, I'm getting it adjusted.
Okay. All right.
You get comfy.
Okay.
Let's bring this up in here. Don't chip a tooth like I've done. I still got a mark.
Well, as many Halloweens as I have lived, I did a lot of research on this Halloween, and very interesting, the journey. Halloween was first recorded 2,000 years ago. It was much older than that. It come from this, how we celebrate Halloween originally was from the Celts. And they came to Great Britain, and the Irish really embraced it, as the Scottish did, and England too. And of course, during the witch burning times, it was not very popular. It has so many layers to it. Every time they went through different people, they added to it or took away from it. And our Halloween that we celebrate was brought over by the Irish immigrants, and the Irish immigrants brought their customs with them, and a lot of people loved it. I mean, it was a time of celebration. One of the darknesses of it is when the veil is the thinnest on midnight, October 31st. The spirits are allowed to come through the good and the bad. Well, the bad spirits are kind of bad. So that's why we have our costumes, is people dress as different things so the spirits don't recognize them. They feel that is a cover of security for them. Well, when the Irish immigrants brought it to our shores, it became popular with some people, and other people it was not, because it was considered of the devil, because it's originally a pagan holiday. Well, during World War II and before, well, really during the Great Depression, the tricks became really severe, and actually some places outlawed it because they were taking toilets, outside toilets off, and they were doing all kinds of mischief and what have you, and they were, and actually I remember my parents got their house toilet papered, because Mom told a couple of older children that they were too old to be out doing Halloween, and they took offense to it. But I can remember my uncles talking about all the tricks and what have you they did that really were vandalism, not just not just tricks. At any rate, when it come to our shores in Canada, it went through a lot of, we added to it. Well, then Hollywood said, oh, we can really take advantage of this and add to the coffers, and they came out with more monsters and more additions to Halloween, that it became even scarier. And then the candy company said, oh, really? They added to it, and I lived in California when the scare was very prominent about razor blades being in the candy and needles, and actually there was some of that, because I went through my children's candy and I did find some needles, I did find a razor blade, but ironically it wasn't in the homemade ones, it was in the commercial ones. They had really tried to hide it, but there was a little hole in the wrapper, And I took it out, and sure enough, there's a needle in there. And the one that had the razor blade in it, they'd taken the candy and mashed it together and very cleverly had wrapped that piece of candy, but it was a commercial candy that they had used and had a razor blade in it. So it was real in that way, but I cannot help but feel that the candy companies helped with that scare because they were selling bukus of candy. And look at, even today, I go buy Halloween candy, and I don't have any trick-or-treaters come to my house. So there you go. And the toy companies too, they really jumped on the bandwagon and still make a lot of money from it. Our costumes, all those things add to it. At any rate, so it was a great revenue for these people to really make a lot of money. Well, our Halloween has went back to Europe, and it hasn't always been well received. Some countries practice it more fervently than others, but a lot of them keep their own customs with it also. And in studying the customs of Halloween, and I studied about shamanism and what have you, and it goes back from almost to the beginning of time. Our ancestors worshiped their ancestors. They honored their dead. And in some countries, that still is very prevalent. In Mexico, the Day of the Dead. They truly honor their dead and their ancestors. And they have taken some of our customs, but they have really held to theirs also. And I studied the practices of honoring our dead and our ancestors from Mongolia to the Pacific. They still have these, not a lot of them come to October 31st. It seems because that is the time of the end of harvest, the start of winter, and it is a day of celebration for indigenous cultures. I mean, they do recognize this. Well, one of the things that happened with Halloween, the church at the time tried their best to get rid of Halloween. I mean, it's a pagan holiday. These pagans are having a good time. And they're making their own treats. I mean, they made soul cakes. We have to do something. We can't get rid of it because those damn pagans are still celebrating Halloween. And even our faithful are celebrating Halloween and sending their children out. And over the centuries, they've done their best to demonize Halloween. And Halloween has some dark things to it anyway. So they just made it so that if you were a Christian, Halloween is bad. And I can remember going through that, my one son's family, for a long time, they would not celebrate Halloween because of the Christian element. Well, they've given that up. They now celebrate Halloween, but people go through those stages by influence of their peers. And the church, in the early 1300s, Constantine was the emperor at that time, and in 313, he uncriminalized Christians, or decriminalized them. He did, because before then a Christian was a criminal, and whatever somebody else did to them was fine. Well, Constantine became a Christian, and his mother had been for some time, and she was a great influence on him. Well, when he became a Christian, he had had some unusual experiences that showed him that was the way in his mind to be. So he became a Christian, and then he decriminalized Christianity. Well, when Constantine passed in 380, the next emperor canonized him. made him a saint, and held up the Roman Catholic religion as the religion. And if you were a Christian and you were not practicing with the church, didn't matter, you were the same as a pagan. And so that allowed them to kill anybody that was a Christian that didn't, practice like they did, and they were considered the same as pagans at that time. So Christianity has went through a lot of issues. Then the church decided, what can we do? We can't get rid of Halloween. So let's see if we can minimize it. That's when they had All Souls Day. All Souls Day had been celebrated at other times, and they thought, well, let's do this November 1st. Well, actually, it was All Saints Day, excuse me. And All Saints Day was the saints that had been martyred or had been canonized after their death, and so they honored them. Well, this was another way of the church at the time of receiving, like people would come and burn candles, they would have special events or what have you, so they were making some money from it. Then they had All Souls Day. And All Souls Day was all the souls, and it was on November 2nd. So here they have two holidays, and they are still demonizing Halloween, but they had another holiday that they felt that would take the place of Halloween, and so the faithful could worship on All Saints Day and All Souls Day. And in your handout that we have handouts for you. I have all the dates down there so you can see how many years between these decorations that were put. So, and Christianity was really, in those days and ages, as bad as the pagans, as far as crucifying those that did not believe like they did, either crucifying or burning them out. They did all kinds of horrific things to them. So we have Halloween that we celebrate still, and we have All Saints Day and All Souls Day. And we as a people can celebrate all of it, but celebrate it in the fact that we hold up our principles to it and make it a time of goodness and not persecution and what have you. And it's up to each one of us to study and show ourselves approved of God, that we know where we have made progress in this. There are still people that, if you even, show anything from Halloween, they are hysterical because that is of the devil. Well, our ancestors worshipped everything. I mean, they worshipped all of nature. And actually, when we think of Christianity, we have the Trinity. In your pagan religions, they have a God, and they have all kinds of other gods. Well, in Christianity, we have the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, which I believe is the feminine part of it, and we have angels. And there's a correlation between all these angels and all the other gods. So what the church did, it just replaced what the pagans, how they worshipped, and on the days that they worshipped, like Christmas, there was at least 4 pagan gods that were said to have been born December 25th. Easter, all of our holidays have pagan origins. So we need to study and see what is really true and hold up our love and our compassion for those that are stuck in their beliefs and are not able to see beyond what they have been programmed. So, is there any questions? Stand up, because remember these eyes. Yes.
I had a white toilet put in my front yard more than once.
Oh, did you?
Lisa was white.
Somebody was missing something.
A lot of people got them.
My mother's cousin made wonderful treats. She made candied apples and popcorn balls and all kinds of stuff. My mother used to make divinity. She'd make candy for the trick-or-treaters. And we had like 150 trick-or-treaters sometimes, where we lived. And I can understand now why people have parties for their children. It makes it safer. Because of the people that have ulterior motives.
Yes.
And I can't imagine why they would, but that is part of our reality. So we do things for our children and for the adults that are safer because of that. Anybody else? Okay.
I lived in England quite a bit, at Upper Hayford, central part of England.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of a center for people who studied other spirits. We'll let it go at that.
Mm-hmm.
But when Halloween came along, where the base was centered and there was all the celebration with the kids and the candies, there was huge amounts of people from the surrounding area would come to participate in the candy and the kids and all that kind of stuff. Well, over the years, this was kind of melted. So when some of the local holidays would come about, their little churches and stuff would hold it and literally invite all the kids from the base. And so there was this interface. Kids didn't get it all figured out sometimes, but it was a lot of fun because you would end up with 3 or 4 holidays during the year where there was this interface, inter-exchange of all the ideas, which in result was that there was a lot better relationship between the community and the air base, and in particular the schools. The local area had several smaller schools for the kids up through about 8th grade, someplace in there. But there was a lot of the kids, especially those who lived off base in that area, went to their schools, and I learned a lot about Halloween and the different
Customs.
Yeah, it was kind of fun.
Oh, and actually, when I lived in Japan, they're honoring the dead, and they had 3 days of celebration. They had parades, and they had all kinds of really interesting things, happen, and it was very entertaining for the kids. I mean, we loved going out and seeing the parades and all the things that were going on. So everybody had a great time. When one of the things on All Souls Day is they have what they call purgatory, and a lot of religions have you're dead, you're in purgatory, and someone has to pray you out of purgatory to heaven. Well,
God does that.
Pardon?
God does that.
I didn't hear that.
God does that.
Anyway, my cousin's a piper, and when my mother passed, and that is a piper's job is to go to the funeral and play the pipes to pipe that person out of purgatory into heaven. Well, this is a family custom, and so when my mother passed, I asked my cousin to come and play the pipes. And then we went to my grandparents' place of burial and played the pipes. So he got a lot of practice that day, getting people out of purgatory into heaven. And whether one believes it or not, it is a custom that makes you feel good. And I think that's a lot of why we do a lot of things that we do, just like celebrating Halloween and wearing costumes, you know, it makes you feel good. So is there any other questions? Now, Carmen, do we have the handouts?
We do.
Okay.